Hello and welcome to Commodity Champions. I'm Manisha Gupta. On today's show, we focus on gold, whose prices are holding above $2,500 an ounce. This is after hitting an all-time high in the previous week. Well, the money managers' wagers in gold jumped to the highest level in 4 years. Prices of gold have surged 6% in the month of August, while the prices of silver are up by nearly 8%. In India, the gold prices have become more attractive after the union budget slashed import duties on gold to 6% from 15% in an effort to tackle the smuggling. The industry was expecting a cut, but a 9% difference took the industry by surprise. However, the sector is optimistic about the festival season to propel gold buying. I caught up with Malabar Gold and Diamonds India MD Ashero on sidelines of the India Gold Conference. He said that the industry is very happy with the government's decision. Let's listen in.
The overall mood in the industry is very positive, be it in the side of consumers or the back of it. The total industry is in a very positive mood. We have witnessed a very good sale hike also immediately after the announcement and being published in the news. And be it in the consumer side or be it on the back end of the total industry, everybody is in a positive mood. It is not only that 9%, but the approach that government has towards the industry. So it is making the whole industry very positive because the requests have been considered, and they are seeing, government also believe that industry will benefit because of that. So it's a very positive.
And especially coming ahead of the season, of course. The last 5 years clearly have seen a lot of euphoria, cleaning, expansions, more IPOs, transparency, hallmarking. How are you looking at the next 5 years shaping up now?
Yeah, the initiatives done the last 5 years, be it SEPA or hallmarking, making mandatory, this duty cut. So it gives a lot of positivity for the organized players. So organized players, when I say that, it doesn't mean that organized is only corporates or the largest companies. Anybody in the industry can be organized. So a lot of shift from unorganized business to organized is shifting. That is why more and more people making it more structured, compliance level improvement, and also having a organized way of doing business. So as I mentioned, unorganized player, it doesn't mean that single store. They are also doing very single store, also they do very organized way of doing business. So going in line with government rules and regulations, complying them, not utilizing loopholes, that is a important thing we have to do. Then the next 5 years, it is very good. We are expecting it will be next 5 years or 10 years, it will be very good for the industry.
A lot of companies are going the IPO way. Is Malabar thinking in that direction?
Yeah, IPO, yes. We are preparing ourselves because our company was having multiple companies. The structure of company was large. It's not a single company we had. So we are in the process of consolidating and preparing for Malabar to be an IPO ready company. Now, going for IPO, when we are going, whether we'll go or not, we are positive about it, but we are preparing for that.
How many countries are you present in now, and are you looking at more geographies?
Yes, right now we are in 14 countries, including India, and more countries are coming up. In the existing countries also, wherever we have entered, we are expanding there, like US, UK, and we have entered recently in Australia also. So wherever we entered, we are expanding. Because single store, two store, just for the sake of adding a country, we don't believe in that. So wherever we have gone, expanding, trying to understand the potential and investing more there. But few more countries will be added soon.
So when you look at within the Indian markets as well, would you say there are various categories evolving here as well? There are investors who buy jewelry or gold as an investment, and then it is about wedding jewelry, which is like a big market in itself, and the luxury segment also now picking up.
So yeah, gold bars, gold coins buying, it is still going on. Especially last couple of months we are seeing a lot of investments are being done in gold coins and gold bars. And wedding jewelry also, because India wedding is like a big celebration. Wedding jewelry is still on the top because any family their biggest jewelry buying is for the wedding in that family. So wedding jewelry, wedding category is still very strong. And luxury segment, yes. Luxury means it is not only the premium luxury category accessible to a category of people only. For anybody buying, upgrading, for them it is a luxury. Because even a person, a working class women, when they get a promotion or something, maybe they are buying a plain gold jewelry, then they are buying something for it is a luxury. It is a luxury for them. But maybe for another category it may not. So this is considered as a luxury, but people want this to be an affordable luxury, not high price luxury.
Not yet.
Yeah.
This is the final question. It's a two-part or a three-part perhaps. So going forward from here, as you said, Malabar has its plans and you're looking at more geographies as well. So if you could define those plans to us, one. Two, what is the kind of sales or a season are you anticipating in the next 2 or 3 quarters? Because this is the time that you see the sales maximum.
Yeah. Maybe I will not be specific on the numbers, but we are seeing a very positive business in the third quarter and fourth quarter, the second half of it. Because when we analyze, there are a lot of weddings happening during that time. And the inquiries in the counter for the weddings, and when we check, when we take the wedding leads and all, a lot of weddings are happening. And the positivity which is seen in the with the budget and with the proper positive campaign plans by the brands as well as the industry, we are seeing the second half will be very good. Diwali onwards, it should be very good. And coming years also we are seeing very positive. And the other question you asked is about adding geography. Yeah, geography we are studying because we are very careful. Whenever you add a country or a city, we are very careful. We don't add just for the purpose of adding a country or a store. Even with the 350 stores we have right now, when you add a store, we get into detail. Because we never want to go in a place and go back. Because we are building some trust to the people around there. So when you do that, we don't want to exit from that. So step by step only we do it. And but a good growth are being planned. A lot of expansions are being planned, be it in India or other countries. In India itself, many stores are coming. This year, the total plan in India was 60 new stores. Out of that, few stores are opened already. Other stores are getting, in the progress. So total we'll complete 60 stores. Presently, we have 355 stores. So this year, we are crossing 400. That is what we foresee.
All right, that's Malabar telling you that they are going to make it to 400 stores by the end of this year, and they do anticipate a very strong festival season as well. Well, moving on, and I also spoke to Senko Gold and Diamonds Managing Director Suvankar Sen. He also echoed the industry's positive sentiment post the duty cut on gold. He also said that the move has given a big boost to sales in the second quarter itself.
If you look at quarter one, we were only growing at about 7.5%. But quarter two, while we are in the middle of it, we are already seeing that the growth has been almost double of what we have seen in the quarter one. And that means that post the duty cut, the consumers are coming to the stores. There is a interest of buying the wedding jewelry season that is going to start for November. I think people have already kind of thinking that gold prices can go up. So it's a great thing, and I must say that it's a great step by the government, because it is also providing enough and more job employment to the karigars as well. While we are talking of the business and we are talking of what's happening with the consumers, making things more affordable, but it's also providing a lot more jobs as well.
Just pushing you for a number here. If you think the numbers are already good for this quarter, how would you look at this compared to previous quarter, where the numbers we already have in hand, and also in the last year?
So, quarter on quarter, Q2 versus Q2, we should look at anything between 15 to 18% growth. So Q1 was 7.5%. So that's almost like the double kind of a growth Q2 to Q2. So that's a good thing to do. And for the whole year, we've been telling that we are expecting an 18 to 20% growth year on year. And I hope that this price, if it remains stable, this will, we should be getting it, and the festive season also should be looking good, because we just now finished with the IIJS and the show was good. It's not just the bigger jewelers, but jewelers of all sizes, small, medium, large, everyone was doing their buying with full positivity. So that shows a good signal.
And within the portfolio as well, how is it about gold and the studded jewelry?
So gold has done better in a way because people's have been thinking that gold prices have gone up and it's taken a correction, so let us buy more of gold. And diamond, somehow I think consumers, the heat wave, there were no occasions of wedding, there were not many occasions of gifting. So I think those are the reasons why people would buy diamond jewelry. Now, gradually in Q2, now the footfalls have gone up for gold. So it also gives us an opportunity to show the new designs, the modern designs. No, the young generation, which were not coming much on Q1, is coming in Q2 and will be coming in Q3. So I think those are the factors which will lead to a higher diamond jewelry growth.
So what is your plan for the festival now? What are the new launches, new themes that you are coming out with?
So one has to be very conscious of the budget that we are working on with. So, with the gold prices last year to this year, it's anyway gone up by more than 15 to 18%. Yes. So we are analyzing. You would be surprised to know that in Q1, the products that were selling were more on the heavier ticket size and not the lighter ticket size, which means that people who had the money to buy or maybe the reason to buy related to wedding were buying. But normal people for smaller items were not coming. But Q2 is showing a little different kind of a picture. The earrings, rings, pendants are also selling. But in terms of new collections, we are coming up with the festive Shagun collection, the new bridal range, new campaigns are going to come out with, brand ambassadors. There'll be much more, excitement around the whole thing. Men's jewelry, which again in the summer months many people talk about. I think now not only as an adornment but as an investment in gold, diamond, platinum, that will also be in. So there will be many more offers for the consumers.
How and what really seems to be picking up, because every festival season has its own favorite, whether it's about a design or if it's about an emerald or diamond, something tends to do better. So what are you going to this festival season?
So two things, in terms of design trends, if you call it. One is for diamonds, gemstones with diamonds, be it emerald, be it rubies, but more of green color emeralds, and the lookalikes. So the way there are real emeralds, there are lab-grown emeralds, there are synthetic emeralds, but colors. That's something that complements the diamond, appealing to the customers, that goes with their clothes, dresses, but that's how it is. So that is one such design trend that's picking up. The second design trend, what we have seen is the long haram sets, as they call it. So, there are certain times when we see chokers selling, or there are certain times when we see that sleek designs are selling. But there has been a trend towards a longish kind of necklaces. And also that is one part of it. The second part is adding stones to the gold, because that's come with the budget part. So, with pearls and with, rubies, jades, all those kind of uncut items where the necklace would look bigger, but the element of gold that is used, the quantity is lower, but it looks flowered. So these are the kind of, using of stones. These are the trends that are really, really picking up.
All right. And what are your plans now going forward? I mean, you've been expanding at a very strong pace. You've moved out of India also now. What is the total number of stores that you're looking at?
So currently we are 166 stores, and for the year we would like to open about 18 to 20 stores depending on the market. We've already opened 3 to 4 in the Q1, so Q2 would also see a few more stores opening up. But the focus will be mostly on India and eastern and northern part of the country. So that's how we are very focused that way, and we are wanting to go as much deeper, look at the tier 2, 3, 4 towns and cities. And one more thing I must tell you, that the semi-urban markets have also been doing well. So compared to the urban, I wouldn't say this is doing better or that is doing better, but it's a good sign that India is not just now growth is happening at the city side, but the smaller towns, the rural semi-urban markets are also, in a way, the demand we can see is happening quite well.
All right, that is Senko Gold telling us that from 166 stores right now, they're looking to add 18 to 20 into this year. And it's not just the metros or the urban areas, but tier 2, 3, 4, 5 cities also seem to be doing well, as is the case with semi-rural as well. So it really is shining gold across. But with that, we are slipping into a very short break. But don't go anywhere. We bring you more exclusives from the conference when we return. Welcome back. And on the sidelines of the India Gold Conference, I also spoke to Mahendran Q of the Precious Metals Division at Karur Vysya Bank on the impact of gold duty on bankers and how does he look at the markets going forward when it comes to gold as a financial product and an investment.
There was an element of expectation, basically because of an alternate channels of flow into the country, but definitely not a drop of 9% from 15 to 6%, and that was something which took the whole industry by surprise. It's good, and despite the prices of gold moving up to $2,500, you're seeing a fair amount of volumes which is picking up. I hope this continues, and this is good for the industry. This is good for all the stakeholders. We are seeing a lot of business. In fact, it's gone to an extent where there is some delay in terms of supplies coming into the market. As I said, it's good.
As a banker, how did you face that, or how did you handle that? Because we do understand that there was a one-time loss on various positions. A lot of positions were open as well, especially with the smaller bullion guys there.
See, we've been in this industry for a very long time, and we know how the business operates. So we definitely recommend all our customers not to take any position or punt on be it the price of the gold or be it on the customs duty. So from our point of view, we always tell our customers to be guarded. Just before the budgets, we see that they were completely covered. And we will definitely not encourage anyone coming and saying that, okay, the price of customs duty is going to go down, let me clear my stocks, or let me buy more, expecting the customs duty to go up. So we are very clear on this aspect with all our clients. And that's one of the reasons we did not get affected despite the change in the prices. And having said it's not just customs duty or GST, it has a bearing on the sale of gold itself. So what happens is that the more you're clear, it's more of a back-to-back transactions which you do with the clients, and everyone does not have the problem of holding on to the stocks. The way the mechanism works is when the price of gold goes up, footfalls into the showrooms are low. And when footfalls into the showrooms gets low, there's no sales at all. And to that extent, till the stocks gets cleared, your funding is going up, there's the element of exposure and things like that.
Also, how was the last 1 month since the budget? Because the import duty came down to 6%, but the duty drawback continued at 15%.
Yes, with the customs duty falling down, in fact, I mean, the differential in pricing was close to 9%. And there's been very good sales. As I said earlier, there's been a little bit of delay in getting stocks because everyone wants to buy, but also we've got the festival season coming up. So I mean, this industry is such that it's not a continuous flow all through the year. You have the ups and downs for whatever reasons. And I think the industry and consumers have accepted the fact that this is a very good level to buy. So they see a differential of this 9% which is paying on. I mean, it's definitely a good sign when the prices moves up. I mean, all-time high 2,500 plus. You still have people walking into the showrooms and buying gold. So I think this 9% differential has been a great interest which has been kicked up by the customers, and I hope this trend continues.
All right, important recommendations from a banker coming in there that shouldn't punt on the price of gold, the custom duty or the GST changes when it comes to many of these commodities. Well, I also caught up with Shakila Mirza of London Bullion Market Association. She believes that the growing interest from Western investors is what is supporting a surge in prices of the yellow metal.
Especially in India, given I'm in India, has gold never been interesting? So gold has always been interesting for at least the regional market, but on a global scale, it's definitely getting a lot more attention, a lot more focus. And where the shift is coming is gold is no longer just interesting in Asia. It's becoming more and more interesting in the West. So you've got Western investors who are looking at gold as an opportunity to look into, but also to get involved on a long-term basis. And I think that's the beauty of gold, that you can actually get into gold, but also know that you're going to have long-term stability through your investments. And so that shift from not just focusing on the interest in Asia, but actually in the Western markets is really supporting the price of gold, but generally the industry overall.
It's quite on the higher side, yes. Talk to us about the Indian markets as well. With the duty cut, we've seen more imports come in. How does LBMA as an institution looks at Indian demand, one, and the impact of duty cut?
So look, India, the second largest consumer market in the world, and one of the most important markets. And not just from a perspective of like jewelry, but also the sort of the sentiment, the emotional, the festivals, and everything that happens in India to engage in the gold market. And the duty cut, I mean, it's my first conference where I've seen so much positivity. And whilst I've attended several conferences in India, this is perhaps the one where gold is at an all-time high. The duty cut has certainly supported demand. There's a lot of focus on understanding how can we build a stronger industry in India. And with all this positive energy, engagement, but also sentiment, there is no better time to continue to focus on improving our practices, but building businesses and attracting new participants to help the industry grow.
So what is it that LBMA is now looking to do going forward? I mean, as you said, we've seen a string of things that the institution has continued to do all of these years. With these evolving markets now and the world is changing, what is LBMA's priorities as we look to the year ahead?
So, so one of the biggest priorities is understanding the role of technology and how it can support this industry. So we've heard a lot about AI, blockchain, and understanding how can these technologies support efficiencies within this industry. So the LBMA, we've been involved in a project called the Gold Bar Integrity together with the World Gold Council. So next year we'll be launching an LBMA database that, to your point earlier on, will help with data. Data helps with transparency. Transparency helps with trust. So through the LBMA Gold Bar Integrity project, which is going to be engineered by the technology, we are hoping to build that trust and support that transparency piece. Together, the technology on its own is not enough. You've got to have the right standards that the technology can use to develop those markets. So one thing that the LBMA has done forever has been this focus on continuous improvements of standards. And I have been working for the last 10 years on the responsible sourcing program. And the growing amount of interest in stakeholders wanting to know where that gold is coming from is increasing. And that's a good sign.
Well, there's another side to it, of course, transparency and responsible sourcing on gold, which also seems to be picking up. But let's now move from London to an expert from UAE, and I spoke to Saad Salim Al-Wazrail, director of the Sharjah Airport International Free Zone. We discussed the potential of the safe zone, which is a commercial and investment hub located in Sharjah, and what it could mean for the gold sector going forward.
Actually, safe zone has been a very big contributor to the gold sector globally. Today the free zone has become a hub in the GCC market. We have over 54 yellow gold refineries already established from 18 countries. Other than the jewelry workshops and the gold traders there, the safe zone is a very well-established free zone in the Middle East. We have over 8,000 companies from 150 countries that have already operated with us in different sectors, from trading to industry to service sector. For our goal is always to provide incentives for them to grow, provide services for them to accelerate their business growth. We always like to listen to our clients, develop customized services to them, and making sure that all red tapes are taken away.
When you look at the Indian companies, there's a lot of export for jewelry also happening now within the Middle East and the UAE countries there. That number also seems to be increasing. So while on one side it's about SEPA gold import, on the other side it also is about the gold jewelry exports that we have seen. How do you see both of these numbers balancing?
Look, they are going up definitely for both countries. We as both countries should look at other country opportunities differently to outreach. But the trend today in this industry has also changed. Before, gold was primarily sold to jewelry industries. Today, gold is being sold mostly to watch industries. White gold and yellow gold has accelerated in that sector as well. There are opportunities that could be tapped, definitely from the geo-economical changes that are happening. We just need to have proper policies, strategies, making sure, of course, all the international rules and regulations are implemented. But, of course, we have to compete like everybody else.
Absolutely. One final question. So when it comes to the safe zone, what do you think are, as you said, the markets are moving, evolving. There's so many developments happening right now. What are the next steps forward when it comes to the within the safe zone itself?
Well, SafeZone has a lot of things that we're trying to look into. Of course, we need to look at how innovation and artificial intelligence plays a role in improving services for our clients. These sectors always evolve as the geopolitics change, as the geoeconomics change. We have to look at how do we improve the environment of business. How do we make sure that costs are not inflated? Because today business would survive or would fail based on inflation, based on additional costs. So we have taken a strategy that after COVID has gone, that we will not increase our prices based on what's happening in the domestic market. So this has helped a lot of businesses to rethink and reshape their strategy on a long-term basis. Because we really believe that it's not about just looking at the trend and the opportunity of that trend. We want to look at organic growth.
Well, that's all the conversation about cost efficiency, innovation, and of course, putting in AI to use to ensure that there is higher efficiencies, more profit going forward. Well, that's all that we have on this edition of Commodity Champions. But with that, news continues on CNBC TV 18. Do stay tuned.